Why is it that the loudest person in the room is often the one we respect the least? You spend your days draining your energy, over-explaining your worth to people who aren't even listening, and wondering why your influence is fading. You've been told that to be seen, you must be heard. But you are about to realize that your constant noise is actually your greatest weakness. True power doesn't scream. It observes. In a world of digital shouting and desperate validation, silence isn't just a lack of sound. It's a weapon of mass attraction. It creates a vacuum that others are desperate to fill. By the time this video ends, you will understand that the less you say, the more your presence begins to weigh on the world. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nothing is so encouraging as when virtues are exhibited before our eyes." Notice he didn't say spoken about. He meant they are seen. Most people use their words as a shield to hide their insecurities. You, however, will learn to use silence as a throne. Modern life demands that you have an opinion on everything, from global politics to your co-worker's lunch. But every time you react, you give away a piece of your sovereignty. You become predictable, and predictability is the death of attraction. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The first lesson from the ancients is the law of scarcity. Epictetus taught that your value is determined by your availability. When you're always talking, your thoughts become cheap. You become a background noise that others tune out. Think about your social media or your workplace. When you overshare, you remove the mystery. You become an open book with a boring plot. By practicing Stoic restraint, you force others to lean in. When you finally do speak, your words carry the weight of a judge rather than the chatter of a jester. People aren't attracted to what is common. They are drawn to what is rare. Silence makes you a rare commodity. The second lesson involves the Stoic concept of the inner citadel. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and much of that suffering is fueled by the words we regret. In a toxic confrontation or a high-stress meeting, your silence is a mirror. It reflects the other person's instability back at them. While they scramble to fill the quiet with excuses or anger, you remain unshakable. This is a dark Stoic secret. Silence is the ultimate display of self-control. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. When someone insults you and you meet them with a calm, piercing silence, you win instantly. You have refused to be moved. That level of emotional stoicism is terrifyingly attractive. It signals to the world that your internal state is not for sale. You are not a puppet to be jerked around by the opinions of others. You are the master of your own domain. The third lesson is the power of the void. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what we can control. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control the information you provide. In relationships, the person who is most comfortable with silence is the one who holds the power. We live in an age of over-talking to soothe our own anxiety. We talk to avoid the discomfort of being alone with our thoughts. But the Stoic welcomes the void. When you sit in silence with another person without rushing to fix it, you project a level of confidence that words can never achieve. You become a gravitational pull. People will find themselves seeking your approval, wondering what you are thinking, and try to bridge the gap you've created. Silence is a lesson learned through the many sufferings of life. You are not being quiet because you have nothing to say. You are being quiet because you no longer feel the need to prove yourself. This is a shift from seeking value to being the value. When you stop chasing, people start following. The world is loud, frantic, and increasingly weak. By adopting the Stoic silence, you separate yourself from the herd. You become the predator in a world of prey, the calm in the center of the storm. Start today. Speak half as much as you did yesterday. Watch how the people around you begin to change their tone. Watch how they start to respect your boundaries without you ever having to define them. Remember, your words are your currency. Stop spending them on people who haven't earned the right to hear them. Control your tongue, and you will eventually control your environment. This is the only way to reclaim your social value. This is the only way to become truly magnetic. Because in the end, you must ask yourself, why is it that the loudest person in the room is often the one we respect the least?